The scientific revolution begins. Copernicus and the center of the universe, 1543. On a quiet night in Frombork, Poland, an old man sat alone beneath the stars. His name was Nicolaus Copernicus, and for more than 30 years he had studied the heavens, measuring, calculating, and questioning what all the world believed to be true. Above him, the constellations drifted across the black velvet sky, just as they had since the beginning of time. But to Copernicus, they no longer told the same story. For over 1,000 years, the Church and the scholars of Europe had taught that the Earth stood still at the center of the universe. The sun, moon, and stars all revolved around it. This idea, born from Aristotle and Ptolemy, was woven into scripture and faith. To doubt it was to doubt the order of creation itself. Yet Copernicus's observations whispered something different. The mathematics didn't fit. The motions of the planets wobbled and looped in ways that made no sense, unless, perhaps, the Earth was not the center at all. Slowly, quietly, he began to imagine the unthinkable. What if the sun stood at the center, and the Earth and the other planets moved around it? For decades, he kept his theory secret. He feared ridicule, even persecution. He was a churchman, after all, a canon of the cathedral. And yet, the truth burned in his mind. By 1543, as age and illness overtook him, Copernicus finally allowed his life's work to be published. The book was titled De Revolutionibus Orbium Coelestium, on the revolutions of the heavenly spheres. Its message was simple, yet revolutionary. The Earth is not the center of the universe. It is one planet among many, revolving around the sun. To some it was madness. To others blasphemy. But to those who read it with open eyes, it was liberation. The moment was quiet, almost poetic. As the story goes, a printed copy of his book was placed in Copernicus's hands on his deathbed. He looked upon it, faintly smiled, and died. But his ideas did not die with him. They detonated across the world of thought. A generation later, Galileo Galilei would take up his telescope and see with his own eyes the moons of Jupiter circling their planet, proof that not everything revolved around Earth. Johannes Kepler would refine the laws of planetary motion, showing that orbits were not perfect circles but elegant ellipses. And Isaac Newton, born nearly a century after Copernicus's death, would unite heaven and earth under one law of gravity. Together, they began the scientific revolution, an awakening of reason, a rebellion against ignorance. Copernicus had shifted not just the planets, but the human mind itself. For the first time, mankind realized that the universe was vast, dynamic, and knowable, not the domain of mystery alone, but of discovery. The Earth was no longer the stage upon which all creation revolved. It was just one world among billions, spinning through the infinite dark. And in that humbling revelation, humanity found a new kind of greatness, not as the center of the cosmos, but as its curious observer. The age of faith had given way to the age of reason. And it all began with one quiet man, looking up at the stars, daring to ask, "What if we have been wrong all along?"